Test. All right. What's up, guys? RhythmLP here, and today is going to be a very, very different kind of video. I usually don't make these kind of like ranty videos, but with everything going on with Tekken 7 over the past, let's be real, 6 months, probably longer, I think a little conversation needs to be had, right? Just to preface, this is not really going to be focusing on, in particular, the Leroy situation or the patch note situation or any one situation, really. This is more going to be a message more towards the community, towards the people that are actually playing the game, the people that are making a living off of the game, people that are making content for the game, and our relationship with other people that also play the game. Basically, our relationship with each other. I guess what else? The thing that really made me want to really talk about this is this tweet right here by Rip. Let me preface this right now that I love Rip. I love the Level Up Your Gaming crew. They are probably one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to like content creation and when it comes to just how to be a community member, I guess, because I haven't been in the FGC for very long, if I can even really call myself a member of the FGC. I mean, I play the game, I interact with streams, I do what I can. I'm not a big content creator, I'm not even a more talented content creator, I'm not even a talented player, but I love the game, I love the community, I love the Tekken community, and whenever I feel passionate about something, I do feel like I need to speak my mind on it, at least, give my 2 cents or whatever, even if it's not really warranted, but I digress. But yeah, just to preface, I love Rip. But at the same time, I don't think that just because you love somebody and just because you love what they make, that when I say I love him, I mean I love his content. I like him as a content creator, obviously. But we're all not going to see eye to eye, and that's one of the biggest themes about this fucking video is that we're not all going to see eye to eye. But let's get into this tweet. In this tweet, he says, in quotation marks, "Game is trash. Wah, they didn't patch my character. New patch sucks. Game is going in the wrong direction. Everyone stopped playing." Meanwhile, and it shows a chart for Steam charts fighting games for the 1st of April. So it shows that Tekken 7 is doing pretty good right now when it comes to their player base. Like, they actually have about 3,000 people playing on a 30-day average. There's no crossplay, there's delay-based netcode, and it's beating out Mortal Kombat, which is probably the second. Probably when we think of mainstream fighting games, you almost always think of Mortal Kombat because they have a lot of clout in the fighting game community, from what I've seen. And look at that, they have rollback netcode. MK can do it. But that's besides the point. Now, God, getting into this tweet, there's so many layers to this. I'm not going to talk about how the numbers for this, people have already pointed out, is kind of irrelevant considering how right now we're in the middle of a goddamn quarantine. Most of the goddamn world is quarantined in some way right now, so we obviously have more time to play fighting games. And the DLC just came out, so that could skew the numbers, but I digress. Hell, I just looked up one day, we only had like 600 people streaming the goddamn game on Twitch. I digress. That's the point. These numbers are not the point. These numbers are not the point. What I do have a problem with, though, is the wording right here. This rhetoric right here. Rip, in this tweet, is obviously talking about people that are, quote unquote, whining about the game, whining about issues, saying the game is trash, saying that whining about how they didn't patch their character, how the new patch sucks, about how the game's going the wrong direction, everyone stopped playing, blah, blah, blah. I don't think everyone stopped playing. I do disagree with that. I don't think everyone stopped playing. There might be a drop-off, but let's be real. Tekken, or these fighting games in general, haven't had, in the grand scheme of games, fighting games are always on the low end, from what I've seen. This is me talking out my ass. I don't have stats back this up. But from what I've seen, fighting games have always been on the lower end when it comes to player base. But I digress. That's not the point here. Like I said, the point here is this wording. God, all right, let's do this. What I've noticed a lot is, especially the OGs, I consider the OGs, the people that have the most respect in the community, that have been in the community the longest. There seems to be a divide between older players and I guess you could say newer players, right? People that people that have been playing post Tag 2, I guess you can give that as a metric, or like started with Tekken 7 or whatever. The people that have been playing since before Tag 2 or Tekken 7, right? Seems to be a big divide. In particular, there seems to be a divide in how we handle complaining, or how we handle complaints in general in the FGC, and how we respond to them. Me personally, I'm of the camp that complaining is good, right? Speaking your mind is good. Showing some kind of dissent when there is things that you don't like about the game, you saying something about the game is good. You're exercising your right to be able to tell the developers, yo, this is shit, please fix it. It is really our only weapon as consumers, if we want to use it in a capitalist sense, as players, as consumers, as content creators, as esports players, as team members. This is our only way to really be able to talk to Bamco, because like it or not, Michael Murray is our only liaison for us English speakers, at least for people that don't speak Japanese, right? Or even people that do speak Japanese. Michael Murray, in a lot of ways, is our only liaison. He is the funnel in which our complaints have to go through. And when your funnel, if you've been paying attention, does not respond well to screeching, for lack of a better term, and for lack of a better term, doesn't really know how to filter out the good, or at least doesn't know how to properly handle the screechers versus the people that actually have something to say, that's a problem. That goes into a whole nother point. My whole personal opinion is that if Michael Murray doesn't know how to do that, he should hire someone that can, i.e. a fucking community manager, but that's not even the point of this video. I don't like this. This right here, I don't like this. I love you, Rip, but I don't like this because I replied to this tweet, and I'll go to my reply. I said, neat. You find it annoying when people complain on Twitter about things that they're passionate about. They find it annoying. By they, I really mean us, but I think they sounds better in tweet. They find it annoying when they see their community members, especially OGs, dismiss their complaints as whining and make facetious tweets. I put factitious, but I meant facetious. How does this conflict make anything better? That is the big question here. What good is it for you to go on Twitter and to say something like this and post stats that don't really mean anything in the context of what we're talking about? What good? How are we going to actually accomplish any of the goals that we're talking about? Now, I will give Rip credit. I'm not going to falsely represent him here. He did later on talk about how basically his whole point was his priorities when it comes to fighting games is not about stuff like developer response or even like I'll go to my tweet. Give me a sec. Yeah, here's a tweet he said. He said, first of all, I say things have changed since I competed. I've been talking about FGC patch notes since like League of Legends since MK9 2011. That's because I responded saying that, where did I put it? The way fighting games has changed since we're completing, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean any disrespect by this. I was mainly going off of his earlier point, saying that how he comes from how he even said he comes from a generation of people that aren't, or a generation of players that didn't have regular patches. You got what you got and you dealt with it. That's what I was coming from when it came to that. But I guess I didn't, that may have come off as attacking. And for that, I apologize. Rip, if you're watching, I apologize. But he said, yeah. After that, he said, I understand the issue. He understands the issue. Basically, he understands that, patch notes are a thing. Communication is a thing. Everything that I mentioned about communication and our right as consumers to be communicated with in this esports landscape is a right. We'll get into that some other time, another video. Again, I don't care about the communication as much as I care about the game because it's what's actually important. And Rip can have this opinion. It's a valid opinion, actually. Caring at the end of the day about the gameplay is what matters. To the standard player, to people like me that don't even sidestep hell sweeps, I guess, homing hell sweeps doesn't really matter. To the yellow ranks like me, barely orange ranks like me, sidestepping hell sweeps don't matter because we don't sidestep hell sweeps in the first place. I get that. That's a valid point. The gameplay, for the most part, hasn't really changed for people at the bottom. But we cannot rule out that the gameplay has changed. It hasn't changed much, but it has changed. Obviously, the movement has been nerfed. Hell, I can see that. I can go back and watch Tag 2 footage and see how smoothly they've been moving compared to how Tekken 7. I can feel the stiffness in the game, and I've barely played Tag 2. I barely got serious about the game with Tag 2. I still found that game to be extremely difficult, but that's besides the point. He cares about the gameplay, and that's a good point. That's a good point. You can care about the gameplay. What I said is, well, that's the point where we'll just have to agree to disagree. You and I both have different priorities when it comes to the game. From what I understand, you value the gameplay, and I and many others value the overall package outside the game and the experience. You know, you can I'm not saying that all of us should be on the same page, but what I am saying is situations like this, statements like this, doesn't really help, because I will admit, in most gaming communities, there are a lot of screeching ass motherfuckers. There are actually a lot of screeching, whining, or what I refer to as whining ass bitches. There are a lot of whining ass bitches in the Tekken community. There are a lot of people that are whining about things that either don't matter to them, which even if something doesn't affect you, it doesn't mean you can't complain about it, but I digress. They're either whining about things that don't matter to them, really, or things that they don't really know much about. I get that. I understand that. I understand being annoyed by those people. But what I don't understand, and what does get to me, is while there are a lot of screechers on the internet, there are also a lot of people out there or a lot of notable community members that do know what they're talking about and that have the same opinion that we do. They're talking about the exact same things that we're talking about. Stuff like netcode, stuff like game experience, stuff like gameplay, stuff like patch notes, stuff like the devs communicating with their community. Like, there are people that make good points, but all anybody ever wants to really focus on is the game is trash. For people that are saying that the game is trash, they didn't patch my character, new patch sucks, the people that are actually screeching. Not saying all these points here are invalid. Actually, outside of the game is trash and everyone stopped playing, I guess everything else here is kind of valid. If Gigas didn't get patched, you should probably be upset. If you don't like the patch, you should probably be upset. If you feel the game is going in the wrong direction, especially as an OG, you should probably be upset. But I am saying is that anyone that does seem to complain seem to get painted with a wide brush, and that's not fair. Because the biggest example I can give is Michael Murray, right? Michael Murray, obviously, I don't know Michael Murray, but from what I've seen, he's sensitive. Just get it out there. He's sensitive. And I don't blame him. Most people don't have the capacity to deal with a bunch of screeching children on the internet. And they don't have the capacity to be able to sort through what is valid criticism, especially when a lot of this criticism just turns out to just be personal attacks, right? That's fucked up. No one should have to be attacked on the internet like that, right? No one should have to get anything. If you have complaints about the game, complain about the game. Don't fucking talk about, Michael Murray as a person and start talking about his physical appearance. That's fucked up. No one should have to deal with that. I get that. But if you're going to take on the role of community manager and you can't manage the community, you should probably hire someone that can. That's what I'm saying. But when it comes to us as a community, I think we need a little more solidarity, right? I think we should stop paying attention, stop giving attention to the people that don't need it, namely the trolls, right? The trolls, stop feeding the trolls. I know it's an age-old thing. I know it's literally a meme. It's a fucking meme at this point. Stop feeding the trolls. The people that don't need attention don't need attention. The people that don't really The people that are making criticisms that aren't really relevant, people that don't really have much else to say outside the game is trash, don't really need attention from us as community members. And as OGs, I'm not saying that the OGs have to be fucking paragons of virtue. I'm not even saying that we all should be agreeing on the same thing, but what I am saying is people that have valid opinions, people like Arya from Blasted Salami, should probably have their voices uplifted. People pro players, content creators that have a lot of knowledge, people like Cuddlecore, people like Ryan Hart, people like Arya, people like Frame Whisperer, hell, even people like Main Man Sui, like a lot of people that are respected within the community. And have valid criticisms. They shouldn't have to be wrapped up in the same bow as people that don't have much to say. And I guess what you'd say to that is, oh, he's not talking about the people that don't know what they're talking about. He's talking about the people that don't. Well, what I'll say to that is either you are really, really affixed on negative Nancy's, or you don't want to give the people. I had a better thing. The point is, you probably shouldn't be. If you are talking about the people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, then you should probably specify that, because this tweet doesn't really say that. And I'm focusing so much on this tweet because I think it's indicative of a much larger issue. I've seen more tweets like this from other people that are more that have clout within the community, for lack of a better term, clout. Like, I've seen this kind of opinion, and I think it's kind of shitty. And it's a lack of unity. And like I said in this fucking tweet, how does a tweet like this help anything? How does it make anything better? Because at the end of the day, all we really have is social media, is content. That's the only way we can actually express our opinion to a large corporation that's not even the same country as us. This is all we can do. All we can do is screech. But what I am saying is we should probably be uplifting the voices of people that aren't screeching, but that are talking, that make good points, that actually have something to say. You know, people like Arya from Blasted Salami, people like Cuddlecore, people like Ryan Hart, people like Cuddlecore that actually want to be the fucking community manager, people that actually want to have something good happen for the community. Because we're tired of screeching. We're tired of talking. We're tired of complaining. I will admit, I like drama. I do. I'd sometimes like screeching. But I also, when I know when to actually, sit down and make a coherent thing to say. But if my complaints just get wrapped up in everyone else that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, everyone that are just trolls, it's not fair. It's not fair to anyone. And it doesn't help anyone. And it just divides us. They will not divide us. Like, that's pretty much what it is, And I'm not saying that we should all be agreeing. I'm not saying that all the OGs should fucking, they have a responsibility to us. At the end of the day, you do what you want to do, dude. If you're a pro player and you don't give a shit, if you want to just play the game, just play the game. I get it. But I think we could do better than this. We can do better. That's my whole point, is that we can do better. We need to actually, at the very least, unionize. I can kind of liken this to a workers' union, right? Because in a way, everyone that is making content for this game, everyone that cares about this game, everyone that makes money off of this game, in a way, is an employee. In a way, is an employee. So if we're talking to a giant monolith of a company that is known to be stubborn, known to be set in their ways, known to don't really listen, if we're dealing with a group of people that aren't really getting the right information from the people that matter, we should help the people that matter get the right information to them. Have better community managers at Tekken team. Or at the very least, if we're going to stick with Murray as a community manager, we need to uplift the voices of the people that, you know, whose voices need to be heard. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, guys. If you like the video, obviously like it, subscribe to my channel, go to my Twitch, that's where I stream, all that kind of stuff. Twitch.tv/RhythmLP, Shelly, I don't care. But I love this community, I love this game. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been here nearly as long. There are plenty of games that I played that I don't really give that much of a shit about, League of Legends, and that I would never go this far for. But I love this game, I love this community, I love the group of people that I've been able to meet because of this game and this community. I love Rip, I love a Level Up Your Game, I love fucking everyone, I love Markman, I love Cuddlecore, I love Reinhardt, I love fucking Blasted Salami, I love fucking Main Man Swee, Frame Whisperer, fucking Duke KC, Massive Zug, all these people that help make this game as fulfilling as it is. All the people that help make this community as awesome as it is. I love you all, but we can also do better. If we want anything to change, if we actually want anything to change, we can do better. I'll see you guys next time. See you on my stream. All that good stuff. RhythmLP out. Have a good night. Deuces.